just when you thought it was safe to go back to the programming, we are rapid
Nope.
fire today. We are back again live from the floor at Dulles Expo Center of Spirit Fest USA here in Chantilly, Virginia. And we have a very special guest with us this time around. His name is Donovan Vinny.
You got it. Yep,
Yay!
that's right. You got it.
And he is the founder of Awakening to Wholeness, and he's doing some amazing things to help humanity as a whole. So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to let him explain it because I'm going to screw it up. So
Yes, you will.
Don, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Yeah, so I'm the founder of Awakening to Wholeness. So I want to talk a little bit about the program and what we push in our agenda. And essentially it's awakening to wholeness, right? Awakening to the fact that we're whole in spirit and in body, and to really push that message. And we're awakening right now as humanity, as a whole and together. And it's important, right, on that quest that we realize the essential wholeness that we are, right? Because a lot of times when we're set off on that spiritual journey, we are caught in doing, or there's kind of a feeling that we're like not whole and that we're
missing something.
Exactly, we're missing something. But the point of our program is to really embody and show you how we're basically whole in all of our imperfections too, as well.
Right.
And how we're each designed differently, right, to be a part of the puzzle that we are in its entirety.
Right.
So it's even embracing the imperfections as well too, right?
Yeah.
And accepting that, because that allows our heart space to really open up.
Right.
Right.
So we're like a snowflake, right? Every single person is different, and our imperfections, our flaws, that's where the beauty and the magic lies.
And so that means that actually they're not flaws.
Exactly.
The imperfections are the perfect spots.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They're facets.
Yes, I like that.
Like a jewel, like a diamond, right? They're facets, right?
Yes.
So you say anything that you're missing, right? You help to bring to wholeness. So maybe you can help me find my keys because I'm missing them.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So we can be some key finders as well.
Nice.
So what made you decide to start this program?
Yeah, so I went through my own journey, just finding out who I was, feeling sometimes misplaced, I always felt like I was always like in the middle, right? I never agreed with this side or that side, right, of the perspective of things. So I always kind of felt misplaced in society, right? So almost, broadcasting that feeling of not feeling complete, like, should I be here? Should I be there? So this allowed me to really push and start that journey. So what we do, let me tell you a little bit about the program. So what we do is we're all about goal setting, right? And finding our purpose in our daily lives, right? And it's important to set that purpose and that goal, because that allows us to really start to essentially like go towards our purpose and our vision, right? And we can do that through goal setting, right? So it's almost like I would say like spiritual consulting, goal setting, repetition. It's still important to do the work as well.
Well, yeah, and I would think setting a goal helps you actually create your path.
Yes.
Because you need to know where you're going to go before you start walking there, right?
Yes, exactly, right? And it allows us to have a relationship with also what's big I like to talk about is fear, right? Fear, anxiety, right? And coming out of that comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Because that allows us to really walk towards the things that we've asked for, or that we're essentially destined to do based on our strengths and our quote unquote imperfections, right? Or our things that make us special to who we are, and capitalizing on that.
And it's interesting that you said, you talk about fear and anxiety and getting out of that being our comfort zone. And it's true, and like we all have it. And maybe you don't see it on yourself, but you see that friend that they're always in the drama. There's something always happening to them, but
I'm right here. I'm right here.
So you see that friend that.
Yes.
And it's interesting how that does become almost, you don't feel normal unless something's going on. So how do you help someone get around that and realize you don't have to be suffering to be in your comfort zone?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say that the best way to do that is to be present, right? To realize and acknowledge those emotions and those feelings that you have first, right? Because I think a lot of times we're trying to escape them instead of incorporate them, right?
Yeah.
Peace with them,
For sure.
Transmute them, alchemize them, right? So I think the first step is really acknowledging those sometimes addictions we have to the fear or the drama, right? And we're habitual creatures, right? So we wake up and we're doing the same thing we did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, right? But the key is to invoke change, right? We want to invoke change at a high level, right? Because when we feel that suffering, now that's a catalyst, right? For us to be like, okay, something's up here. I don't know necessarily what it is or maybe where to look at, but once you acknowledge those feelings of maybe discomfort, anxiety, then it allows you to ask the bigger questions, the deeper questions, right? And it sets you off on that journey.
I'm loving every one of our conversations. Every one that we've had has been incredible. But the downside is that I'm feeling so called out in every conversation I'm having. Good Lord.
And you know what I like to say is that we're all, we're all mediums, right? To a degree, right? And I like to say that it's never about being right or wrong, but it's about the subject matter that's at hand, right? So we're like, so don't feel called out, right? Because we all are related, right? And I'm so thankful for you guys bringing me here, right? But we all share something in common here, right? Which is why we're gathered in this space,
for
right?
sure.
Things that we can see and things that are also unseen, right, in the quantum world, right? That attract us, right? So I like to say any advice that I give anybody, I'm giving myself as well, right? Because I'm hearing it as well. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we are all one, right? So
Exactly.
when you help one other, you're helping yourself.
That's very true. So speaking of helping another, if someone was interested in learning from you and becoming involved in your program, what would it look like? What happens? Do they call you? Are there classes? How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So we gather and we have basically classes, right? I lead the classes, but not really. Everyone leads this. Open group discussions, and we set topics that we talk about, right? Just everyday topics, right? And one of them is actually, are we addicted to stress, right? And then that's when we dive into what that looks like and our daily lives, what we're doing. We talk about brain waves. So we incorporate health, spirituality, and science in all these things, right? And a lot of times we try to divide them as a society, right? Like science is separate from religion or spirituality and the body. And we try to separate them, but I think they're all proof of one another and they're all intertwined. So we use all three of those elements of the body, mind, and the spirit to basically in science, right, to incorporate these things. Yeah.
Now, are these in person? Are they virtual?
Yeah. So they're actually going to be both. So you can actually I post them on YouTube. And then also they're in person. We have in Occoquan, Woodbridge. I'm not sure if you guys heard of Old Town Occoquan, but in Woodbridge. So we gather down there at the Crave Kangen store, a good buddy of mine. And we have those about twice a month now. Yes. So Tuesdays.
Nice.
We will be switching to Mondays now because I want my wife to join her. Her schedule is changing just a little bit, but Mondays we'll start to have them as well.
That's right.
Okay.
And I love that your wife is part of this. She's over here in the audience. She's got the shirt on that matches.
Yes, exactly.
And I think so we also, we're married and we work together. We do our podcast together. And I think it really kind of helps you walk the walk when you're doing it at home. When you're living it, as opposed to just someone who's kind of going out there and doing their job. You guys you're in it together. So it's something you truly believe in and you're making it a big part of your life.
Yes, exactly. And we're like yin and yang too. So it's like our styles are different, so we complement each other. And it just creates a big solid unit for us. And yeah, she's a rock for me. Yeah, definitely. That's a big supporter.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's been a catalyst for a lot of change in my life, and very, very fortunate. And she's a big part of what we do.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this. So I would say my journey's really been four years ago, really, when I started like a big, huge awakening, which was like in about 2019. So I would say all that time has been included into starting this, but we just started this in actually relatively 2 months ago. Yeah. So this is
Congratulations.
you're seeing the seeds right here.
Nice.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, you're seeing the seeds.
All of y'all are seeing the seeds.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and we are growing.
So we're watering them right now.
Yes. You guys are part of that, and I appreciate you.
Fabulous.
Sure.
No, we appreciate you coming in and sharing your mission with us. It's an important thing that you're doing. So thank you for what you're doing. Really.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate you guys and your mission. I want to also call you guys out and say this is phenomenal what you guys are doing. And we need it. We need it for sure. And programming is a big thing, and it's important that we take ownership of programming and put it in a space that uplifts us all. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
And we are all in it together.
Thank you.
Yeah,
definitely. And thanks for the thanks. us. If you are anywhere near the DC area and you want to get involved, definitely reach out. What's the best way for someone to reach out, whether they want to join virtually or go in person?
Yeah, so you can read us at Instagram at AT Wholeness, and then also YouTube AT Wholeness. And then also we're building a website right now, awakeningtowholeness.com as well too, okay, where you can you'll be able to find us, okay? So YouTube, we're posting basically each meeting as well too. So if you can't make a meeting in person, don't worry, it'll be on YouTube as as well, okay? And then eventually, hopefully, we'll work up to the level of a live stream like you guys.
Nice. So we can help you with that. No big deal.
Yeah, guys, if you can go surround yourself with these beautiful people and their wonderful energy, it is just elevating.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being in their presence, we knew right away as soon as we saw them. We're like, oh, these are our folks.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Awesome. If this calls to you, by all means, reach out to them in one way or another. In fact, if any of this content has called out to you, I'll say it again. We're at the Spirit Fest USA in Dulles Export Center in Chantilly. We would love to see you. Come on down. The show goes on to about 5 o'clock today, something like that. I think.
Yeah, we'll be here till 3.
We're here till 3, but the rest of the show is here till 5. So
there's a lot of great people to come meet.
A lot of great stuff here. So by all means, reach out. And Don, I appreciate you being on the show with us.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Well, we are the Skeptic Metaphysicians, and you're watching this on NewRealityTV.com.
We now rejoin our previously scheduled programming already in progress.